Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2019. It is our Pro Cyclist mode. It's the Classics Rider episode number 10. Hit the double digits here, and we've also hit the end of May. So we're going to be pushing into June here, and we're going to get a little update on where we're at with our status. Of course, we pick up the 65 points, putting us a third of the way towards level 8, and after level 7 was only a skill point. Our attributes will go up again that next time around. But of course, in the meantime, since hitting that previous level, the last time our attributes went up, we've added quite a few victories to our list of achievements. But let's go ahead and get into that contract update. Those last couple of victories, of course, added a bit of evolution to that interest. And with that, we are now into the yellow for the Wallonie-Bruxelles team. And we're going to continue to pique their interest. And it's already getting to that point where they are now, fourth, fifth most favored outside of the bottom end continental teams. Next up for us, we've got a classic here. It's punchy, but that's not that punchy. We'll see once we actually get into the race how it is. I mean, that constant undulation, it won't be a large group finish, but I would imagine some sprinters can survive that, compete for it. That's only 17 kilometers. So it is, what is that, team time trial? Stage 2. Punchy, but not your typical punchy. Sprint stage and stage 4. Another one that's punchy, but there's quite a bit of time after that climb to get back into it. And the final's a little bit uphill. We'll see. I don't know if any of those 4 stages necessarily suit us, but that's what we'll get into this episode. First up, the classic. Under 50k to go, and the field is starting to split. Ooh. Race favorite Johnny Muscon involved in an accident there. And the field, I think, is tied to Muscon, so they're reclassifying us as the peloton now. 42 riders left of the group. Sweeney just went off the back, and we definitely have a little bit of a gap to some other riders. Now we're on a circuit now for the last third of this stage, and it looks like those guys are coming back at us pretty quick. I would imagine they'll probably catch back up. And with 5 more laps to go. And then here you would go straight on to the finish.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%.
Percentages above 10%. And that's the finish. But for now, we continue on for quite a few more laps. Now, if I had a lot of fresh riders, I'd have them put the pressure on so these guys can't come back at us. But at this point, I think the only way Moscon out of the race. So Moscon was the favorite. That moves me up a little bit. Definitely moves me up a little bit. And we've got another split again, at least for the moment. 31 riders. We're chasing 4. They have just over a minute's lead. Do I have anyone capable of pushing? Gate is the only one who could potentially push from here. But with 4 laps, plus that little finishing stretch to go, I don't see anything happening just yet to officially split the end. One rider caught in between. I think he's about to get reeled in by, yep, there you go, 22 now. $23 riders now. The group is getting smaller and smaller. Pace is also getting hot enough that an 85 is not quite enough to keep up. This chase group, though, looking relatively strong. Gate is now the only rider left with me. Those 4 off the front are looking quite dangerous now because there's not as much impetus in our group. Not a lot of guys who want to lead it out. Gate's just about the only one. You can see how tired he is. I'm tempted to go for the break as opposed to the final climb. Whippert, Schupa, Kooning, none of them are looking terribly strong, so those guys catch me, and they're about to reel us in anyway. Alright, we are getting pretty close to the end here, so let's bring it back down, as here's the little uphill, kind of the double uphill, and then there's the finish. 11% there for a little bit. And that group has just latched back on. You can see with the uphill, they are dropped again. And yes, okay, I was worried that the breakaway riders would get away. Alex House in the national champions jersey for the U.S.
It's survival of the fittest, and evolution doesn't seem to favor those in the rear. There's a growing list of riders left behind.
With 20k to go, one of these days he'll let me speak. 20k to go. The group is definitely small, but we're definitely not done in yet. I mean, there's still a chance for some riders to come back. Their group behind is now sitting at 19 riders. But we're actually out to over 2 minutes, and it seems to be growing, so I think it is starting to go in the right direction. I just want a little acceleration here and see what's it like. Yeah, it's pretty easy, actually, for me anyway, to get a little acceleration on through there. Another uphill section.
Only 15 kilometers left.
One more full time up. This downhill, it's too flat to really keep a breakaway working. It really feels like it needs to be there at the end. It needs to be the final climb. And I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of waiting till the last moment. I'd rather go sooner. But I don't think this time through the climb really suits that. And actually, here come the attacks.
The riders are entering the last 10 kilometers of the stage.
Rudy Millard. He's dangerous. Are we going to get a separation here? There you go, 6 riders off the front. Now we've got a select group for the finish. Gaudu, Vichot, Millard, Calmejean, Perez. And they reeled us back in. $6K to go. Use my gel a little early here, because I will need a separation. I'm in a good position. Gaudu on the front. Calmejean there.
Finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 5 kilometers road sign.
24 riders. We dropped some. Need to start moving up. Gel's kicked in. 3K to go. Nearly to the front. And here we go. Not the first one. Just want to be in a strong position. 1K to go.
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
And there's the sprint. Lapping some riders in the process. Will I hang on enough? Gaudu chasing. I'm out of energy. I've got just enough. There we go. Got it. Garu takes second. Vishal third. Prades, Calmejean, Perez, Rojas, Bookman, Castro Viejo, and Stefan Kung. Lard actually slips all the way down to 12th. He used too much energy when he tried to attack, which I had covered. Good, we got a stage win. Oh, a race win. That one. That's right, we move on to that little 4-stager next. That should be worth a few.
And here are the race highlights that we've selected for you.
A few development points. Yeah, there you go. Exceptional. The expectation was top 5. Claim the win. 33 points for that one. And now we'll move into the 4-stage race. That's also going to give a little more evolution of interest. Continues to go in the right direction. 4 days till the next race. That was 5 days in between. Also, the fitness is hitting the happy zone, the fitness peak. Not too far away from starting now. A couple weeks maybe. Stage 1, a regular time trial. Though, while technically a time trial, it's a cross between time trial and prologue. I don't understand how, because I do not have a good time trial rating. But apparently I'm the favorite. I don't know if that's because of the hills that are here, and it certainly could be. You can see there's definitely some climbs, including one before the end, a steep one. Short. It's only 15k in all. And I'm in a really tricky situation here, because technically the way this should work, if I'm utilizing my hills rating over my mountain rating, which my hills rating is much higher than my mountain rating, I need to be pushing at least, like a 92, 93 on those climbs to actually make use of my hills rating. And it's got to be above 3 degrees. That's not sustainable for long. It's a crazy amount of good speed where I can really get ahead of some other riders. I don't know how that's supposed to work. If I go normal speed, and if I'm down high 70s, then it's going to utilize my mountain ratings when we're above that 3 degrees instead of my combo time trial prologue, which at 17 Ks, you are almost 50-50 time trial and prologue. Prologue is 5k and under. Time trial is 30k plus. And then anything in between, you get a blend percentage base. So 17.5k is exactly halfway between 5 and 30. Meaning at 17, we're right there. We're at 50-50 as we set off. So for that, I've got a 69 and a 69. That's not a bad rating. That is largely due to our +1 race day condition and good overall fitness. But the mountain rating is only a 65. The hill rating is a 78. The flat means nothing on a time trial. It's replaced by these two scores. So I'm actually not even as fast because my flat rating is better. So what exactly I'm supposed to do to make this work, I don't know. I don't know whether to go easy in places and then really ramp it up when it gets above 3 degrees. Like now, I could push hard. Go 27 kilometer uphill and then ease off a little, where I'm still going faster. Try to make that work. Now as we go down under that point, ease up, go 68, going faster through here. I have no idea if this has worked. This is trial and error on this one. I have such a good hills rating. That is my strength. That is my bread and butter. That's where I can really make time. But that only applies over 3 degrees. And I'm in one of those scenarios now. And to get the hills rating, I need to be pushing. 95 is full hills over mountains, so this is where I'm really going as fast as possible through here, pushing 22, 23, 24 kilometers. And nobody else can match. I'm going to go over the top here in a little bit and then just rest. What was my time? 8th, 22 seconds. So no, that is not fastest. This was not the fastest way to go. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. I know when I'm a stage racer and I have a good time trial rating, I know how to be successful. When I have a good mountain rating, I know how to be successful. Steady pace. Save a little more for the hills, but not like what I've been doing here. So this is kind of rough. My downhill rating's okay. It's a 69. I definitely could make up some time through here.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
Oh, I just ran out of energy. Way too soon.
Whoa, the reference time has just been lowered.
.33 is not too bad of a pace, I guess, but I'm definitely going to lose time through here. I don't think this is going to end up being a good time, and I think that experiment did not go well. Of course, this race really does not suit me anyway, so I don't mind doing a little experiment. I think oh yeah, wow, look at that. I dropped to 69. I lose 2 minutes and 18 seconds there in the second half. But of course, I used up most of my energy in the first half, and I still wasn't in the top 10. I have no idea where they get off thinking that I was going to be competitive in this one at all. I'm not a time trialist. I don't have a good time trial rating. So that was really odd that they thought I'd be a favorite, especially with the way that the hills rating works. The effort has to be really high. And sure, I was fast by a couple miles an hour through that section, and that's nice. But if I'm 8-10 miles an hour section, 8-10 miles an hour slower everywhere else, how is that supposed to be good for me? Right? Of course, hills take longer to get up than, like, say, going through a flat section in terms of that pace. So in terms of a percentage, sure, a couple miles an hour is a bigger deal than being down 4 or 5 elsewhere. But yeah, overall, that was not good. That was not good. So that was an experiment that failed miserably. And to be honest with you, all I've ever had in Pro Cyclist is somebody who's good in time trials, because I always go for stage racer. And then in career mode, I take my guys who are good in time trial and, of course, focus on that. For the guys who aren't, I focus on finding what's the happy setting. You know, what amount of effort is going to be good to burn an equal amount of energy compared to the distance you have left to cover. And so, even when they are, like my rider here, I'm not sitting back and relaxing or riding differently. I ride like I would normally, just to prepare the best I can for other riders. So for me to come out here and rely on a hills rating to somehow be further up the field with a bad time trial / prologue rating, I'm not sure how that one was supposed to work. So it backfired. I don't think I would have been in the top placings anyway, even if I rode normal, but I definitely would have been higher than 69. That was burning way too much energy, much too fast. But yeah, if I was cruising along at a 76, it wouldn't have used that hills rating at all. It would have used my mountain rating. So Then what? Where does that make me a favorite? It says I'm a favorite again, but this one actually is at least a little bit punchy. It's hard to say how that finish is. I mean, we've got, what, 22K from the top of the category 1 to the finish. And you got to figure that's only about a 3-kilometer descent, and then it's going to rise up from there. But it's false flat for a good 10, 11K. So that's about a 9-kilometer climb there at the end, and it's steady. That suits more of somebody with a mountain rating than somebody with a hills rating. And the first climb, that one suits me. That would be a good one to break away on, short and steep. But then what do I do from there? How do I hold off the field? I would imagine they would catch back up to me. But if it's not very steep, maybe I give it a shot, go for the long break. Nothing to lose, I'm already way down the order. So I'll go ahead and come back somewhere around that sprint point. We'll go from there, see how it goes. Just under 40 kilometers left. And for this one, damage has been done, but the field actually let up. We pulled back the breakaway a little while ago, and my entire team was on the edge. Every last rider, except for myself. And riders were starting to fall off the back, so it looked like many riders were in the same boat as my teammates were. And then we crested right here and had that slight, gentle, simple downhill section, but we caught the breakaway, so the field let up. And then that was that. That was it. So what I'm going to try to do here is I've got the team at my disposal, and I'm going to try to attack this first climb without using myself up and do some damage to the field and see if I can at least set up something small for the final. Because looking at the final climb, that is not the kind of climb for me to break away and win on. It's really more the first climb. But if I do it on the first climb and break away myself, I'm not going to get far enough away to get through to the end. Sorry, by the way, I'm losing my voice a little bit here. I've been doing a lot of recording lately, and just in general, very busy. And it is what it is. But thanks for bearing with me through it, and we continue. So we're going to try the let's go for it, let's mix it up, because the last mix it up failed, so we're going to try to mix this one up and see if it goes a little bit better. Koenig, positive race day condition, and I think he's a decent climber. Sweeney, I have no idea where we're at with these guys. Oh, there you go. Sweeney's a 68 hills. Downey is a 62. White House might actually be better. Taggart, I have no idea, but those last two guys are sprinters. And let's get down to the action here. So, the plan is burn the team out on the first climb and burn the field out while I'm at it. You see there's actually, look at that, there's attacks here. So Alafaci is actually himself barely keeping pace here, so it's actually a good thing I'm doing something. Pace is starting to let up a little bit, but Alafaci using up what he's got. Downey, he's not going to last long in this situation. He actually wasn't even up to where Alafaci was. Alafaci's already recovered some. We didn't have a good enough position for this. And Downey's done. Taggart. Those guys were sprinters, so No surprise that they weren't going to make it. Oh, I left Tigger on a 99 there. White House, how about you? Got anything for me? His name is D. Whitehouse. Where does he live? D. Whitehouse. No, I said where does he live, not what's his name. Oh, yeah, I got corny jokes. Sorry. Okay, D. Whitehouse is done. The man in D. Whitehouse, please oh please be done. Sweeney, have it a go. Apparently the... Oh, and the field just split. Come on. That was garbage. These guys should be able to get me back up there. Come on. I'll bridge this gap. Oi! This guy just squeezed me. That is the second time I've been squeezed here in the last couple minutes. I had these guys caught, no problem. That guy just squeezed me all the way across the road. This has been such a weird race. And it has not gone according to plan at all. Well, I made it back to the peloton. Of course, I just burnt up most of my energy.
15 kilometers to the finish line.
Okay, good position. Sit up. Oi, why did the energy continue to drop? What the heck? I'll kick it in. I'm going to recover a little bit. But that next climb, I can't attack. No way I'm going to recover that much. But yeah, this has been a very awkward 2 stages. Again, this is not the race that suits me. They've listed me as favorite twice with no justification. I mean, it feels broken for sure. I should not be the favorite last time or this time. This time I should be breaking away right about now, but how am I supposed to do that with this low energy? But since we got nothing to lose in 69th place, we're going to do it. 27 seconds is the gap, 33 seconds is the gap. There goes the energy though. Got some separation. There's one rider behind me. Ravitch. Nope, I'm going to get caught here. 2 riders now. Santoro, he's sitting up. Now it's 19. Santoro is not that person who works for Apple and talks back to you, though. There go the accelerations. I can't keep up with them. Let's accelerate a little bit. There's nothing I can do on this. Down to 4.7K. I'm actually still in the group. 18 riders now. Still uphill. This is helping me out a little bit. 3K. They're going to drop me this time. There's the finish line. 1K to go.
There goes the sprint. The strong men are giving their all.
13 riders duking it out for the win. Schelling takes it. Goldhammer. Schelling won the first stage too. Christian, Ravitch, Skirping. I took 16th. I think that might have been more realistic in the first place because this was not the kind of stage for me to win. And then telling me I've got to go and win it was just kind of ridiculous. So instead, kind of had fun experimenting. No, that wasn't fun. First stage was interesting. Second stage, that was more garbage because the it started with me. I formed the idea of a sprint train. I formed it too late. I should have formed it more than 1K before the climb. That way it had enough time to form and move forward. If we were at the front, it would have been a totally different ball game. But by starting from the middle, where do we have to go? The road got skinny, it got difficult, and the guys couldn't find a way through. And so the train got caught behind the split. That's why positioning matters. That's the problem with the Yates brothers that they have, is they love hanging out at the back of the peloton, and every once in a while it causes them some major problems. It ruins races for them, and that's exactly what just happened for us. So that was my bad for not forming up early enough, waiting too long. So yeah, I'll definitely take blame on that. That's my mistake. And then my team was completely worthless when it came to any sort of acceleration. They didn't have it at all. And that's one reason why I'm eager to move on to another team. These short, punchy climbs, as long as I'm at the front, I can handle it myself. But something like this, where the not so short but very punchy climb was 30K out, and then the not so punchy but short climb was like 8 kilometers out, and then what was there left from there? I mean, there was nothing to it. So no wonder there was still a group of 12 at the end, and there was nothing I could do to leave those guys. I mean, I tried something, because it said I should go and win, and I knew that wasn't going to happen. And if I would have played it differently, I could have been in that final group, but I wasn't going to beat these guys out on a sprint. And I certainly wasn't going anywhere without any team support, as the team couldn't even get halfway up the first climb. I don't know. Not every race can be a winner. I don't mind having a bad race here, just to learn some limitations of both the team and the rider. We've got a lot of season to go, and not every race is going to suit me. And I'm starting to win a good fair bit of races, so I'll take that. I'll take that. It's okay. Stage 3. We're going to look at the profile here real quick. I might not really bother finishing this race, as I am so far down the standings, and I think we're in for a couple stages here that, again, don't suit me any better. And then, of course, my voice is going here, and I'd kind of like to preserve it a bit for tomorrow and the continuation of the channel. I might need to go rest this the rest of the day, so I'm going to push forward a day. We'll take a look at the Stage 3 profile and the Stage 4 profile and see if it's worthwhile, as I'm way down the order at this point. I suppose I moved up a bit with that finish, but still, 19th is way down the order. That's a sprint stage. Stage 4 is interesting. You could certainly, let's see. Well, that's going to be a mountain climber, though. That's not a hills guy. This is a mountains guy that's going to leave the field behind, recover on the descent, and then finish it off through here. I mean, we're looking at 20K, and that's just under half of it. That's about 8K uphill. That is a little bit. But you're going to get almost full recovery on the descent, and then just be able to hold a steady pace from there. But again, steady pace, steady pace, steady pace, not puncher. So I don't think I'm going to do anything on stage 4 either. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and skip these last 2 stages, do them off camera, and I'll see you at the next race. I will not make it through. I mean, that last stage could be a little bit interesting. Stage 3 certainly won't. But sorry to say, I decided to save my voice for another day, so I'm going to go ahead and call it early. But thanks for tuning in. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now. Final 12K, there's a little group trying to attack off the front on this one on the descent. It's 2 riders. There are 9 of us chasing them. It's stage 4. Already my voice is back a little bit, at least for the moment, as we prepare for the final. So we hit the bottom. We're going to be starting to go up. Need to prepare for that. My recovery was partial. I did a lot of damage to the field. I had to kind of ride my own pace to make that happen. But here we are now, approaching the end. It's 6K to go. Uphill from here. It's back together. It's 5K. And once we hit above 3 degrees, if we get above it, that'll be my time to go. As here comes an attack now from Santoro, and we are now above 3. Well, we were there for a moment. Alright, 3K to go, coming up towards the end. This is way too flat. 2K to go. Just try to hold this position at the front. Everybody's riding my wheel, so they're putting me under pressure for this one. I could sprint better than some of these guys, definitely. Okay, I'm going to start my acceleration. And my sprint. Come on, baby. Come on. I could at least out-sprint a very small group. 4 seconds clear of Patrick Schelling, who will win the race overall. Santoro to 3rd. So I got a stage win out of this race. At least one worked out. I had to be pretty aggressive on all 3 climbs just to thin the field and then protect myself. Thin the field, protect myself. Thin the field, protect myself. While I was at it, there was 3 Category 2 climbs. I won the last 2 of those. Nearly got points on the first one as I tried to get off the front, but the breakaway group, I was the next rider just behind the last of the breakaway. I beat half the breakaway to the top of that climb. But I did win the last 2 climbs, and that was enough to win the mountain jersey. So at least I get a stage win, and I'll get the mountain climber's jersey. That's something from this race. Let's go ahead and speed along to the finish here. See those final results. With just 11 riders left in the group at the end, I should move up in the standings. Maybe into the top 10. No time cap though. 11 riders, 3.5 minutes to everybody else. So that definitely will move me up to no worse than 11th. But it only did get me to 11th. So of those 11 riders at the end, I had the worst time. Tobias Foss actually nearly holding me off, or was he in that 11? No, Foss was 3:29 behind, and that was just enough to pass him. But I had quite the gap between me and those other guys. Took 3rd in the sprint. I did win the mountain climber. Nice. Foss was my competition for the under 25, so I got that as well. So that'll be worth some team points at least. Yeah, 70 points. There you go. First on stage, exceptional. 3rd points, 1st. And young rider, best climber and young rider 1st. So I like that. Worked out more or less. Third in the Continental. 75th in Super Prestige. Having a pretty dang good first season here. Very happy with it. It's a lot of victories for us. 9 of them equal on for 4th best in the world, and only 1 behind Groenewegen, Bennett, and Buwani. Also 2/3 of the way to the next level as well. So things are looking up. That'll also increase the evolution of interest. The fitness peak is getting closer. All of that plays out. Now, I already did an outro, but I'll cut that off, and we will try this again. I was not planning on doing stages 3 or 4, but in the end, stage 4 did pan out, and we ended it with a victory. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.